Then two Englishmen come to the pub. They want to sell gunpowder. One man looks like a gentleman, but the second man is horrible. I tell the horrible man, I am sorry. I don't need your gunpowder. I have a lot of gunpowder in my camp. The horrible man says, you have to buy our gunpowder. We travel from London. We want to do the business. I say, thank you. I don't want your gunpowder. The horrible man is really angry. Our conversation is not good. He says some horrible things about me. I say some horrible things about him. The conversation gets to a point when he wants to kill me. He takes his gun. I start to run away. He shoots at me. Then I wake up. In August, I am okay again. But I still feel a little weak. I need to do some physical activity. The next 10 days, I walk around the island. I feel better after these trips. When I feel strong again, I decide to explore the whole island. I find a new interesting part of the island. It is a valley. It is a valley with a lake. The valley is in the central part of the island. I find melons here. The melons look like big balls. They are very sweet. I also find apples, oranges and lemons in this valley. I want to take some fruit home. But I need a big bag. I don't have a big bag with me. I collect some fruit. I put the fruit in one place. I return to my cave. I bring a big bag for the fruit. I like the fruit valley very much. The nature is beautiful here. I think maybe I can move here. But the beach is far from this place. I have to be close to the beach. I need to see a ship which can save me. I don't move to the fruit valley. But I decide to build a house here. I visit the valley very often. Step by step, I build a house here. The house is small. I make a double fence around the house. The house is protected like a castle. Again, I use a ladder when I want to go inside. And inside, I have stairs in one corner of the fence. I use the stairs when I go outside. And I use the ladder when I go inside. This activity takes the whole August and the beginning of September. But I enjoy it a lot. The fruit valley gives me so much energy. I feel so healthy and strong here. Sometimes, when I am in the valley at night, I watch the moon and the stars. I think about my wife. I think about my family in England. I know that they see the same moon. They see the same stars. But we can't be together. I think about my family very often. I wish the best for them. I also think about all the people who see the moon. I think about the places where they live. I feel connected with them. Sometimes, I feel connected with the whole universe. I also think about God. I have questions for God. I ask Him, why am I on this island? Why am I still alive when my friends are all dead? I don't have answers to these questions. But I believe God. I believe that He knows what He is doing. It is the time when the rainy season starts. The rainy season continues until the middle of October. This is my first year on the island. When the rains end, I return to my valley house. I see that the fence is all green. New leaves are growing everywhere. This is not only beautiful. It is also useful because it is really hard to see the house. The leaves create shadow. It is very nice to stay here. I want to make a fence from the same wood around my first house too. When the rainy season is finished, I put my corn in the ground. I have a bad feeling that something bad can happen. I only use a half of the corn. This is a good idea because no corn grows up. I put the second half of the corn in the ground before the next rainy season. This time, the corn grows up. Now, I have a small farm on the island. I see that the seasons on the island are different from England. The seasons are not spring, summer, autumn and winter. We have two rainy and two dry seasons. With this information, I can now plan when to put corn in the ground. I make longer and longer trips around the island. I need a basket for these trips. With a basket, I can carry more food during my trips. I can also carry more fruit from the fruit valley. I cut branches from the tree which I use for my fences. I use the branches for the basket. When I finish the basket, I decide to make a long trip around the island. I go through the fruit valley. After the valley, I find some fields. A lot of grass is on the fields. The fields are very flat. There are a lot of flowers on the fields. The flowers smell so good. Many insects fly around these flowers. I see some big butterflies. Their wings are 10 centimeters wide. I also see small trees around these fields. I find nuts on these trees. These nuts are different from nuts in England. They have a different shape. They are also more sweet than nuts in England. I discover some new animals on this side of the island. Wild cats live here. I also see many parrots and other interesting birds. I catch one parrot. I take the parrot with me. His body has many colors. I see red, green, orange, blue, pink and yellow. This part of the island is very nice. More food is here. But I don't want to move here. My dog catches a young goat on the way back. I save the goat. I take the goat with me. I want to keep goats. Now I have another chance. I leave the goat in my valley house. I want to prepare some space for the goat in my first home. I am so tired from the trip. I relax the whole day. I make a cage for the parrot. I bring home the goat. The goat starts to be calm. I make a map of the whole island. I put these new places on the map. The time goes very fast. Soon, it is September again. This is my second year on the island. I am less sad now. I accept my situation. I have many good things in my life. My days are similar. I hunt in the morning. I cook at noon. I relax in the afternoon when the sun is very strong. And I work in the evening. This is my typical day. I also teach my parrot how to say his name. His name is Paul. I have a problem with my corn in November and December. The wild goats want to eat the little plants. I don't want to lose my corn. So I quickly make a fence around the field with the corn. I make a gate in the fence. I put my dog inside the fence. He protects my corn at night. Soon, the plants are tall, but another danger comes. Birds start to eat the seeds. I shoot at the birds. They fly away. I must watch my field every day. I have my first corn at the end of December. It isn't a lot of corn. I don't want to eat the corn. I decide to keep all the seeds. My goal is to put the seeds in the ground and have more corn later. I need some pots for the seeds. I look for clay on the island. I find some clay and I try to make a pot. I have no success at the beginning. But I try again and again. It is long work. But after 2 months of experiments, I make 2 pots. I put the pots in baskets. I put dry grass between the baskets and the pots. The dry grass and the baskets protect the pots very well. I continue to make small pots. Their quality is better and better. I also make long but not very high pots. I put sea water in them. When the water is gone, I have salt. One day, I find a broken piece of a pot in the fire. The fire makes the piece very hard. It is like a stone. The piece is very red too. I have an idea. I take one pot and I make a fire around the pot. The pot is very hard after 2 hours. I am happy with the result. I also need a tool with which I can make flour. I take a big piece of hard wood. I make a hole in the wood. I put the seeds in the hole. Then I take another piece of hard wood. I break the seeds in the hole with this second wood. The flour stays on the bottom of the hole. Now, I want to bake bread. I have an idea. I mix the flour with water. Then, I take 2 stones. I put the stones near the fire. When the stones are very hot, I put the bread between them. Now, I have my first bread on the island. The bread is not perfect, but I like the bread a lot. It is my first bread after a long time. It is during my 3rd year on the island. I think about traveling around the island by sea. I think that it is possible to make a canoe. I want to make a canoe from a big tree. I find one big tree. I cut the tree. I start to make a hole in it. But after some days, I start to think about something. I start to think how to get the canoe from the forest to the beach. I think about it because I am quite far from the beach. I see that it is a problem. I see a small hill between the forest and the beach. It is not possible to move the canoe over the hill. The canoe is very heavy for it. I am really angry. I have to leave the canoe in the forest. Many days of work are lost. I don't believe that I can make such a mistake. I have to plan my work better next time. After 3 years on the island, my clothes are already very old. I start to use the skins of the animals. I make a cap and other clothes from the skins. I also need an umbrella. I try to make an umbrella from the skins too. It is difficult at the beginning. It takes some time. But I am successful in the end. After 3 years, I am quite happy. I have everything what I need for my life. My life on the island continues for the next 5 years. During this time, I decide to make another canoe. The canoe is smaller. It isn't difficult to move it to the beach. The canoe is finished in June. I want to travel around the island in the canoe. I put food, water and guns in the canoe. I am ready for the trip. The beginning of my trip isn't easy for me. I am in danger when my journey starts. I have to go around some rocks in the sea. When I want to go back to the land, I feel a strong current under the canoe. The current is taking me away from the island. The situation is horrible. I am scared. I can't survive in the open sea. I don't have enough food and water for a long journey. I fight very hard against the current for 2 hours. Then, I am able to get close to my island. I can continue my trip around the island. Now, I know that I am stronger than the currents around the island. I feel good. I feel strong. Soon, I find a small river. I go up the river. But I get nowhere because soon the river is very narrow. Stones block the way. I can't continue. I leave the canoe where it is. I want to explore this part of the island. I am not far from the part of the island which I know. Soon, I find the way to my house in the valley. I am very tired from the trip. Soon, I sleep. Then, I hear a voice. I wake up. The voice is saying my name, Robinson, where are you? Robinson, where are you? First, I am scared. But then I see my parrot Pole. He sits on top of the fence. He knows these words from me. And he is saying these words with the same intonation as me. I am surprised when I see him here. I think, why isn't he at home? But I am happy when I see him. I don't go back to the canoe. I return home with the parrot. I don't make such a trip for a year. I stay in my house most of the time. I make more tools and pots. I can also make very nice baskets now. It is 11 years after my first day on the island. One day, I see that I don't have much gunpowder. It starts to worry me. I need gunpowder if I want to hunt animals. My first goat is very old. I want meat but I don't have the heart to kill her. One day, she dies a natural death. With less and less gunpowder, I have to find another way how to get meat. I decide to make a trap. I am not successful at the beginning. But then I catch 3 young goats. They are 1 male and 2 females. I take them home with me. I keep the goats inside a small area. I make a fence around the area. But the area is too small for 3 goats. So I make a fence for them around a bigger area. It takes me 3 months to build this fence. But the area is very nice. There is a lot of grass and water for them. After some time, the young goats are very calm. Soon they eat from my hand. In 2 years, I have 12 goats inside my fence. And in 3 years, I have more than 20 goats. I have a lot of milk and meat thanks to this. I experiment a little, and after some time I am able to make cheese and butter. My table is full now, and I have a lot of animals around me. I have my old dog, goats, and my parrot. The only thing which I still miss is somebody for a conversation. One day, I go to the part of the sea where the strong current is. On the way there, I think about how strange I look. I have a big hat, a short jacket and short trousers. They are all made from animal skin. I don't have socks or shoes, but I put some goat skins around my feet. I have 2 belts. One belt is for the gun and knife, and one belt for the gunpowder. I also carry a basket on my back and an umbrella above my head. My beard is very long. I see that after 11 years on the island I don't look like an Englishman. I am a different person. One day, I am walking on the beach. I am going to check my canoe. Then I see something surprising. I see a mark of a human foot on the sand. I look around but I see nobody. I am scared. I run back to my house. I am so scared that it is difficult to sleep at night. Then, I think, maybe it is all only my imagination. Or maybe it is the mark of my own foot, and it is stupid to be scared. After this thought, I feel better. I leave my house. And I go look at the mark again. When I come to the mark of the foot, I see that the mark is much bigger than my foot. It's impossible that it's my foot. I'm scared again. I start to panic. I want to destroy my cornfields. I want to destroy my valley house. I need to hide my activity on the island. I'm so afraid that I can't sleep the whole night. Finally, I sleep a little in the morning. My head is clear when I wake up. Now, it isn't so strange that people live on the islands around. I think maybe this is their first visit here. Maybe this island is not interesting for them. Maybe it's also their last visit here. I feel better after these thoughts. But I want to do something for my protection if the people come again. During the following month, I make another fence around my house. I make holes in the fence. Through these holes, I can easily shoot from guns if I'm attacked. Now, I have a house which is very well protected. Nobody can come easily near me. I also worry about my goats. I divide the goats into groups. I built a smaller fence in another part of the island. I put one group of the goats there. It takes me a lot of time, but my animals are safe. After 16 years on the island, something very sad happens. My dog dies. I cry for 3 days. It's my worst day on the island. Fortunately, I have my goats. I go to them and I tell them how sad I am. They don't understand my words, but I feel that they understand me. They feel my emotions. They are unusually calm and quiet. It's now 2 years after the foot in the sand on the beach. One day, when I'm walking on the beach, I think that I see a canoe far in the sea. I'm not sure, so I continue to walk. Then I see a thing which shocks me. The beach is full of parts of human bodies. Heads, hands, feet, fingers and teeth are everywhere. There is a black place after a fire. I'm angry but also scared. I can't look at this horrible scene for a long time. I have a horrible feeling in my stomach. I go back home and I think about what to do. Now, I can't go out to sea with my canoe. I have no chance against a group of cannibals in the open sea. I also can't use guns because the sound of a gun is very loud. But I always have guns with me for protection. I think that maybe in the future, I can kill some cannibals. And I can save their prisoners. I look for a place near the beach where I can hide and prepare for the attack. Then I change my opinion. I think that it's not good to fight the cannibals. I don't know these people. They don't attack me. Maybe it isn't good to attack them. Finally, I stop the preparations for the attack. I decide to attack them only if they attack me first.